Ooh. We're live.
Everyone.
So watch what you say.
Yeah, Rick.
Yeah, you butt.
Listen here, fuckboy.
You can't say that.
Listen here, fuckboy.
That's TOS. I don't think that's.
God, you know what? I'm gonna start addressing him like that. Okay.
I'll show you TOS.
That F word is
It's
allowed.
just Torbad, right? You told me?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So hopefully it shouldn't take too long, and you can go back to playing your other game.
I don't want to
Need to,
rush.
like-
It's fine.
I need to make a
Oh, God.
cup of tea I can sip here. Well, I listened to Torbad call Miss Miss stupid for 30 minutes.
Why is he gonna call me stupid? Why is he
Why
gonna
should
call
we-
me stupid, Rick?
Just what he does.
I don't
Torbad is just, you know.
called anyone stupid.
Well, he may not say it,
He'll think it.
but he's saying it.
All right. We'll start in castle. Oh, wait. Nope. Actually, we're not starting shit. 1 second.
Right. Gotta grab my Discord account.
Lol. This is a perfect pixel gif for this.
Oh, you're gonna do it? You're gonna DJ?
Yes, I was going to. Do you want to?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
I was gonna make when we go see Torbad, because you know, like how rich people in big companies they play classical music, in their like offices and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna have him listen to classical, but it was gonna be Bridgerton. And then that way, Lumi will just be like, "Is this a violin composition of Wildest Dreams?" Yes, yes, it is. What is?
Is
Goodness.
Star Taylor Swift in our universe?
I love this.
Maybe.
The Slayer units have a passive, or like, not a passive, but like a bunch of different units will have like kind of short form things that they're good at. So they'll be like, you know, anti-large or good against infantry or whatever. And then the Slayer unit here just has fast in brackets for a dwarf.
Where have I heard this before?
Oh shit! That startled the shit out of me. Oh, man.
These sessions are really fun. The reason I push RP sessions and I'm reintroducing town sessions is because I get to push images to you guys and it kind of like serves to draw a narrative, which is really fun.
Yeah. I've loved it.
You guys see that?
Cornelia.
That's where we're starting. Castle Cornelia in the gardens, as usual. Once again,
Okay.
the castle is quiet. It is day. Day has broken. It's only been about an hour since the events that took place. But both of you are still shaken from the incantation that was uttered and from the events that followed. Go ahead.
Okay, so after all this has happened, Blair will tell Lumi that She wants to go speak with Torbad, but to give her a moment of a respite. So she will leave him where they were, and she'll go a bit deeper into the garden, into where like it's kind of calm and quiet, and she will look up as the sun is constantly rising above them, and she will not look directly into the sun, but look in that area and then up to the sky, and she'll say, "Oh, Amaterasu, hear me. I am not here to summon you. I just ask that though you are grieving and you may be upset with us, that you do not forsake those who fight for you. My brother is a devout follower and has always sought you out. He has spent his time when he resurrected to free you, and he was successful. I ask that you do not leave him behind for the actions of a few, that you stay there and you feed off of his fury and his fighting prowess to make both you and him stronger in the battles that may come." And then she'll take a moments of a breath, and hearing as to what had happened in the Colosseum, she will temper her tone and be a bit more solemn, and she'll say, "I ask that you do what you can to forgive the impotence that was shown to you. I know that you are grieving and that you are hurt. I, as a warrior, have felt many friends die and seen many of my comrades die. But I ask that you do not leave us. For us proud and mighty dragoons gave you the power that we thought you would need to free yourself with our furious fighting. And now, during this time, I give you my strength to do what you need to do, that we may end this plight." And she will kind of start turning and walk back towards Lumi.
Okay. You can speak, Lumi.
I would
You have
like
something
to.
say?
I'm just getting the call started towards Director Torbad. We should have gotten his information when he was released by Balthier.
Well, Star also gave it to us when we called her.
Oh yeah, that too. Bing bing.
Chairman of the board and president of the Shinra Electric Power Company. President speaking. Erica, we're gonna have to fix that. Erica.
President Torbad, this is Lumi Oakwood of the Warriors of Light. We have an emergency meeting, and we require to meet with you as soon as humanly possible.
I'm afraid that doing things humanly possible is not in my vocabulary. But I can get you here as fast as inhumanly possible. Erica, write that down.
As fast as inhumanly possible, then, please.
Roger.
And he'll hang up.
Did he always have that kind of an ego?
He just got made president of the Shinra Electric Power Company.
Blair will just look at Lumi and she'll be like, "I don't know, I wasn't here when he was here."
All right. It takes maybe 4 minutes for thrusters to kind of appear over the horizon, just kind of flying towards you at speeds that are very uncomfortable. Initially, the guards all raise the few guards that are manning the castle walls will raise their hands and start to fire at this thing because it wasn't sanctioned by the Cornelian Castle Guard as arriving in Cornelian airspace. As they raise their hands to fire, however, use their magics to fire at this thing, it'll immediately pulse, and every single one of them will lose access to their mana pools. They'll just kind of look at their hands and just kind of look at each other, and then they'll yell at the two of you to take cover as they go down into the keep below, assuming the castle is under attack.
Blair, you want to jump up and shout?
Okay. Blair will just jump up into the ramparts where the mages had been,
Oh, this thing
and
again.
she'll kind of just follow them down to where they were going, and she'll just say, Sorry. Lumi said inhumanly possible, and apparently that's how fast inhumanly possible is, and we weren't able to let you know that Torbad was on his way to pick us up.
As you explain this, it'll kind of hover over the keep. Its thrusters just kind of keeping it stabilized as it just kind of scans below.
Do not worry, fair citizens of Cornelia. You should have access to your magic again as soon as my Airbuster R class leaves your airspace. We do ask that you please be patient while I proceed with my dealings with the Warriors of Light. Thank you. This has been a message from the president of the Shinra Electric Power Company.
The Airbuster will hover in the air and focus its vision on both of you. You'll see a laser just kind of emit from its face, just scan the two of you. As it finishes scanning the two of you, the Airbuster will hover in place. You'll hear Torbad's voice coming from it, but he's obviously not here. He's piloting this thing somehow from somewhere remote.
You have a spy nearby.
Blair will look at Lumi, and she'll point at him. And she'll look at him quizzically.
I'm tracking Faith and Machina Tech. Maybe 120 miles south. Along the cliff line, looking at us now.
Estadio.
Is it a sniper?
Shall I discourage him?
Oh, yes.
More than free.
4 more Airbuster units will just kind of appear in the skies above, going in that direction. And then Torbad's Airbuster, the one that he sent to the two of you, will look down.
You needed transport? Is this a face-to-face conversation?
Yes, as you can see, people are very nosy.
Very well. Get on.
Blair
A
will...
ladder will just kind of detach from the back of the thing, leading into two what are they called? Cockpits in the Machina's backside. 2 latches will open up with 2 convenient areas for you both to just kind of stand in.
Blair will look at Lumi, and she'll say, Do you want to exercise? Or are you a thrill seeker?
I'll just take the ladder, thanks.
Blair will just jump and land on top of the unit and just hold on.
I'll
Or
take
wait,
the ladder to the
is it
cockpit.
like inside? Like, does it go up? Like it's pushing up from the bottom? Or can she jump on top and then go inside?
You can jump on top and go inside, or you can jump on top and hang on. It's up to you.
I'm gonna just hang on.
It just cleared half the world in 4 minutes, are you sure?
It took 4 minutes for this thing to get here from Shinra, from fucking Midgar.
Blair's gonna look around. Hold on, let me see if I had the skills. Because she wouldn't do it if she doesn't have the skill. Oh, she's not very good at the skill. We'll see. She's gonna look at the machine and she's gonna say, Do you want to tell me the non-vulnerable points, or do you want me to just guess?
Vulnerable?
I will send a bill to the Warriors of Light for any damage done to my machines. Except the
Blair.
ones that I just sent after that Eidolon.
Blair will just tap the Storm Whisker onto the machine, and she'll be like, I mean, I can just dig this in, and we can just go.
Or you can just get in the cockpit.
Blair will look sad because she hasn't ridden a dragon in a while, and she'll begrudgingly go into the cockpit.
As the hatch closes to both the cockpits, you'll see kind of shoulder straps just drop down from the top to kind of keep you guys from rattling around in there like a bunch of jelly beans.
I'll fasten.
I think they fasten on their own.
No, you have to fasten them.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a roller coaster thing. All right. Blair will fasten.
All right, as you fasten them, you'll suddenly feel the machine that you guys are in just take off. You can tell by the, what is that called? The G-force?
G-force, inertia, momentum, all words.
You can tell by the G-force you feel as it flies. It almost makes you want to buckle to your knees. Well, actually, that's not true. Lumi, it does make you buckle. Blair, on the other hand, feels it, but doesn't buckle.
Don't worry, it should be over in about 90 seconds.
Blair will look over at Lumi, thankful that she's in a separate little tube of her own.
Units are in pursuit. I have not been able to hit the subject yet, though he has attempted to do damage to it. I just lost one of my air busters.
Blair will just say, do you remember an engineer that was with the Warriors of Light?
That's very vague.
Cyrex?
Yes, I remember Cyrex.
And then you remember how, he passed away when they were trying to get Shumzai, according to the books. And he fell asleep. And he dreamed. And that's him.
Is he mind controlled?
Not that we know of.
So
I
this
think he
is
just
a
chose
conscious,
sides.
sentient choice to work against us.
Yes.
Curious.
He might be holding a grudge.
Though his faith constructs the machina that makes him, it's machina nonetheless. Theoretically, the faith is just mimicking machina, probably machina that is relative to the technology that he was used to when he was breathing. If I scour the archives, if I send a unit to Castle Cornelia and you give the unit access to the archives of the Warriors of Light, maybe I can create something that can detect him.
That sounds fantastic.
Yep, that worked.
Let me write that down.
I can't.
And we're here.
The Airbuster will stop, hover overhead, and open its hatch for the two of you to climb out. And as you do climb out, you'll find yourselves at the Shinra estate.
Blair will offer Lumi an arm to steady himself.
He'll grab it wearily.
It's funny because after all that you just went through, when you arrive at the estate, it's actually quite a captivating sight.
Oh, dang, I thought we were going to have to do it again.
Do you see?
Yeah.
Country.
That's
We got a
gorgeous.
fucking
Lake in Midgar's lush green prairie land, and it's the estate that Rufus used to use before he was
Ousted.
impeached and then subsequently arrested for treason.
Oh. Okay.
I like the solar panels.
Wow. I don't think I've ever seen a house this nice.
The solar panels are just a contingency.
Makes sense.
As he lets you out just outside the front door. Torbad will appear, opening his arms wide, and just not in like a welcoming stance, but as in like, get a load of all this.
It is impressive.
As Torbad walks out, he's still wearing his trademark mask that he has worn ever since he was burned. However, the outfit that he's wearing has been modified, as it's now completely connected with some kind of technology that you can't really tell. Although you can see bottles with rift energy just kind of trapped within them, as well as a whole bunch of Lunarian runes on his trench coat.
So you've taken to the Lunarian magic quite well.
I take to anything that is considered the best, and so far as energy transfer and efficiency and potency, Lunarian magic is unrivaled.
Fair point. Shall we talk inside?
This place is completely safe. Nothing can come within 300 miles of this estate without being annihilated by my bots.
What about things in the sky? Can they hear us?
Absolutely not. I have Lunarian disruption runes all over the property. Also, the Pride and Joy is just around the corner.
Blair will kind of like crane her neck to try and see, to sneak a peek.
The title is out of date, but it doesn't matter. The machine you see just around the corner is a massive machina, just kind of disabled. It's got maybe a dozen blue lights all over its body that are on and actively scanning its surroundings.
I managed to discover a Lunarian rune that ties my life force to that thing's, to the Pride and Joy, my most advanced creation. That means that the Pride and Joy is just as much as part of my Firefly makeup as I am of its. I don't even need to input commands. I don't need to utter vocal commands. I will its movement, and I will its directives, and it executes them perfectly. It's fascinating magic and technology, and I've only just started to scratch the surface of the database that I took from Benevelze before you all went in and smashed it with your big swords.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't there. I was helping Jekyll decimate the cosmic fiends.
In our defense, it was the subject of a rather nasty plot.
As most things are, you still could have deactivated it without destroying it. But it's okay. The past is in the past, and I've learned enough to start crafting my own Lunarian sigils at this point. It's just incredibly dangerous.
Right.
I prefer the air out here. But we can go inside if you wish. It's up to you.
Blair will just put the storm whisker, like, punch the handle into the ground, you know what I mean? Stab it into the ground.
Onto the deck?
onto the ground, the grass. I assumed that we were still on the lawn.
No, you guys are on the deck in front of the front door.
Oh, I thought we were on the lawn.
Can you imagine? It's just clunk.
I thought we were on the lawn. Blair will just say, no, out here's fine with me.
You say it's safe, I'll trust you. We have a lot that's just happened.
It's safer than Cornelia, that's for sure.
Undoubtedly. What should we start with first, Blair?
Blair will just have, like, her face screwed up in concentration. And you'll just hear her go, no, because if I talk about that, then I have to talk about this. But then I can't talk about that without talking about this. And I can't do that without talking about that. And then she'll just kind of look at Lumi, and she'll just say, start with Eden?
Okay. Are you familiar at all with the Idol in Eden and the recent events involving it?
There's the big blue glasses on his plague doctor looking mask will just kind of light up you'll see a bunch of schematics just kind of get downloaded, and he'll just kind of move his head a few times. Maybe 10 seconds will go by, and then he'll look at you.
I'm aware now.
Okay. With everything?
Everything involving the Idol in Eden, as marked in history books, and any scientific and magical research performed by the Opal Tower in the last 200 years.
You might want to get a pen and paper.
Neat
We have
trick.
more to add.
Yeah, we've got more data for that.
It's a Lunarian sigil. It's used to extract all available data within the immediate area. And since most of the immediate area has a server database of all of the discoveries discovered on Chrysalis, and also I am compiling a database of anything discovered on Nova since the 10 years in which it's been recreated. It means that I can essentially find out anything within a few seconds about any subject you bring up. However, it does not include recent events, and I have not had time to pay attention to the visions granted to me by my particular gift. So you'll have to fill me in.
That is incredible. The best summary I can provide is Zavara transformed it into a primordial through a, well, what's the word I'm looking for? Rudimentary process, and sacrifice Spiritus along with it.
You'll see him
And?
tilt his head as you talk, and the more you talk, the more he tilts his head to the point where his head is almost vertical. Like it's almost just the complete opposite angle from the ground as you explain that, and he'll just kind of look at you like some kind of confused bird. Quite ironically, he looks like a bird in that mask.
Blair,
Zavara did what now?
Blair will hold up a finger to Torbad, and she'll poke Lumi, and she'll say, "And
I was getting
what
to
else?"
it, and he broke the light crystal in the process.
That is more believable. Breaking the light crystal is more along the lines of what a person of Zavara's
He'll kind of cough.
intellect would do. As for creating a primordial, however, that is something that only I have recently learned how to do.
He'll just kind of open his palm, and a hologram will emit from his palm from another Lunarian rune. That'll showcase the Lunarian sigil of the moon that Zavara inscribed at the top of the faith tree when he did the transformation.
Damn. We don't.
Theoretically, you need an astronomical amount of power in order to do this, and even if you do it, the amount of power that you draw from affects the forming of the tree because it's not neutralized. So, for example, if I were to use a whole shitload of earth power, but I tried to create a primordial fire, I would create some horrific amalgamation within the center of the two. Why? Because the energy is impure. In order to create a proper primordial, you need purified, neutral energy. Otherwise, the element of the energy itself messes with the concept of the primordial. It's quite fascinating.
Well, I don't know exactly what he did or how he did it, but he managed to create a primordial of hope, light, something along those lines.
Definitely light, especially if he destroyed the Fabula Nova Crystal of Light, I'm assuming, while channeling its power.
Correct.
Yes, in that case, it is most definitely a primordial of the light before anything else, even if it gave itself the name Hope. That could just be an irregularity, a belief of the entity within the primordial, not even necessarily its actual theme or idea that it is born from. It could just be a misrepresentation, albeit it could be intentional or unintentional. It's not exactly the creature's fault.
Furthermore...
Based on the history databases, it says this creature was created from an ex-warrior of light, or at least a potential one. So it's not surprising that it shows a theme as basic as hope.
Funny that you mention that. Furthermore, apparently we've discovered that in the process of creating it, I attempted to grab Spiritus's soul and save it, but it was redirected into the primordial that was being created. So its tree now holds two souls.
You'll see a whole bunch of blueprints appear on his glasses, his goggles again, as he just kind of looks back and forth.
That's strange. Soul melding. Very little is known about it, but there is some references to it inside Benevelze's databanks. They are incomplete, however, and also the idea is preposterous. Souls are, by their very definition, unique. You cannot merge two unique things together to create a third unique thing. It just doesn't make sense scientifically or magically.
Well, we've had two distinct figures tell us that there's two souls in the faith tree of that thing, and that it is effectively a ticking time bomb.
It is. Souls contain an unimaginable amount of energy. Technically, usually the soul's energy depends on the character and the life experience of the person who holds the soul. How many times it's been resurrected, how long it's lived. It accumulates energy over time because of experience, because of emotion, because of love, hate, any one of these things that sentient beings take for granted. For example, a soul like Spiritus, that's been alive for this long, is basically a bomb capable of destroying probably both these worlds.
Lovely.
Maybe we're not safe here.
We wouldn't be safe anywhere then, would we?
No. If you can bring the creature here, I can disable it. Perhaps disperse the energy somehow.
We have been offered that same, offer by Tsukiyomi, and we'll probably do that in the respect for his spirit.
Tsukiyomi the Primordial. If you bring it to her, she'll simply destroy it. I plan on reconstituting it. If you allow me access to it, I could potentially create another battery, a much more powerful one that you can use in your mission against Zodiark.
Well, with, how do I put this? With Eden's new form, that mission has taken a few setbacks.
Setbacks?
Which is why we're
it's no
here.
longer offensively based because it chose hope.
Correct, and the light crystal is gone on top of that, so...
So any light-based entity in this world is subject to Zodiark's corruption.
Which leads us to our next point.
That's very concerning.
Yeah, we've already had that realized. Shortly, about an hour ago, Lucifer was with us, and he was corrupted, and he put a curse on the rest of the crystals.
Once again, his head will move sideways again. It'll kind of look around and kind of twitch a little bit like a crow's head.
That makes every single element susceptible to Zodiark's influence as soon as the crystals no longer hold their... Well, as soon as their forms fail, the magic will fail, because the magic is based off of the form. Otherwise, the crystals would be able to exist transcendentally, not in our physical plane. Which means that the form of the crystals is important. So if they are decaying, then chances are the crystals themselves will become useless, as will their enchantment on the element they are protecting. Have you started looking at ways to replace the crystals or repair them?
That's partly why we're here.
Do you have a crystal with you?
Mine's broken. I have the fragment of the light crystal.
Neither of you have a crystal with you.
No, because I had to barter, with the person who had you captive. I had to barter with him, so I had to give up mine.
The country of Midgard thanks you for your faithful service.
Blair will just kind of look around, and she'll be like, do I get a timeshare on this place? Because that would be great.
No, I can have one built for you nearby.
Okay, that works for me too.
You get a villa?
All right.
Anyways,
Yes, because she saved me.
fair enough. Anyways, we are here for two extra reasons. One being the alternative method that I think Blair wanted to bring up with
Well,
you.
if you were smart enough to have actually brought a crystal here, I might be able to give you some kind of update on your current, the fucked level of your situation.
On that note,
Erica, write that down.
Though, we might be able to get you a crystal here because we need your help with one other thing. And this thing has a crystal.
Thing?
He's a person.
Well, I didn't mean like thing, but I'm talking about this plan, this asking that I have.
So you come here and tell me all this, and the thing that you have to ask me has nothing to do with all of this?
Oh no, everything has to do with everything, Torbad. If you're able to pick up Caius and bring Caius here, Caius has the dark crystal in him. If the dark crystal's power, gets fully corrupted, Caius is dead, which I came partially to ask about making some kind of heart, something to sustain him, so we may take the crystal's power out.
Schematics will appear in his goggles again.
Caius Ballad uses the dark crystal as some sort of life-sustaining object. It's weird. It's a magical procedure that I've only ever heard of in rumor. Again, man, if I only hear about things in rumor, then this database is garbage. Erica! No, but seriously, creating some sort of replacement heart would be maybe 20 minutes of work here at the lab.
Wow.
And then while you're doing that, you can also look at the dark crystal, so you can research more and answer any questions that
Has he agreed to this? I know
No,
Caius is an
I
extremely
will-
combative individual.
Yes, I was going to call him before, but I wanted to make sure that you would be willing to possibly pick him up.
I can do it here at the villa, in the lab below.
Last I heard, he was in Spira, healing from his various wounds.
I can restore him too.
I think it'd be hard to say no to that.
Lumi, to the phone.
I'm assuming if he's in Spira, then he's at the healing baths inside Bevel.
Last I heard, yes.
While a very energy-efficient form of restoration, it is wholly barbaric. They use the latent water and wholly aligned rivers inside Bevel's runic dungeon to just kind of accidentally heal people who soak in that nasty water. Whereas my Lunarian sigils will just simply mend the flesh and remove whatever is causing... Oh. If he's taking this long to heal, then there's probably something wrong with him. He's a Dark Knight, is he not?
Last we checked.
Yes.
He's probably being corrupted. He's probably hearing whispers.
Oh.
Is there anything protecting him?
I do not think so.
How we're not all dead with all of you leading the Warriors of Light is beyond me.
Sir, I'm just trying to do battles. I'm not
I'm
not leading in anything.
Do battles. Okay.
I'm here
Please
to
go get
punch
Caius so I can save him from all of you.
and kill.
She's not our smartest cookie.
There's not a lot of
You
smart
say
cookies.
I'm not the smartest cookie, and you didn't even think of it either, Lumi.
I didn't say do battles.
She'll just
Once the dark crystal is extracted from him, will you want it for yourselves?
Well, we were hoping on figuring out how to put its latent energy into a different source.
We've been
that-
theorizing.
You want to
an
swap
idea.
the enchantment into a different vessel.
Yes.
Correct.
That is horrifying. I don't even think the Fambula Nova crystals are Lunarian based, are they? There's
No,
nothing in the
they're,
databases.
We've learned that they're actually a Curian make.
Once again, he'll tilt his head and look at you with, barely hidden curiosity.
I feel like I'm talking to Jekyll again.
A Curian?
Evidently,
I don't know anything about Curians.
when XDeath
Interesting.
forged the crystal, he went to them.
That makes sense considering there's absolutely no records. And of course, the primordial magic that creates primordials It actively conflicts with the purpose of the Fabula Nova crystals, does it not? I mean, look at what happened to Eden.
Mm-hmm.
Attempting to fuse
Curious. Do you have anything from these Acuria, or any form of database, information, book, tome, scroll, anything I can read?
Read? No. The only thing we have of Vicurian make is in Orpheus's possession, and it's an Aeon gem, I think is what he called it.
You mean an Eon gem?
Aeon gem? I heard it once.
Curious. Again, Eon gems are only mentioned in passing. I would very much like to research these Acuria. Perhaps if you'd introduce me, maybe give me one in a bottle?
I don't think we can
give
do
you an
that.
Acuria in a bottle.
It's a figure of speech. If you can give me a specimen, I can dissect it and learn.
Dissect.
How about we invite you to the meeting we plan on having with them?
That works. And just for clarification, you don't want me to capture them, right?
Correct. Please do not capture or
Not
attempt
even
to
one?
insult.
I hear
Not
there's
even
more than one.
Not
They don't
even-
need all of them. Okay.
Yeah.
I think you'd have to contest with a Jekyll on that, but that's up to you.
Finally, an intelligent being. Although he's not a part of your numbers anymore either.
No, he is in fact retired, but he is helping.
Then we are in fact doomed. Do you have any other intelligence-based disciplines within the party currently?
Funny enough, no.
And it shows.
You're more than welcome to come join us again.
I am retired, and happily retired, mind you.
That's the same thing Star says.
Lumi will nudge,
It's also
nudge.
the same thing Amarid always says.
Lumi will nudge,
I'm
nudge
inclined to
Blair.
agree with him. But if you can bring Caius here, I will fix him, and I will produce a dark Fabula Nova crystal for you. Is that sufficient?
It is sufficient. Blair will look at
Very well.
Lumi to
If you
see
want
if he has the
me to
contact.
create a life-sustaining object for him, I will need something from you, however. A catalyst.
Anything in mind?
An apex soul will do. Any kind of power source.
Soul, Apex Soul. Let me call...
Something that'll catalyze the process that's biologically made. Everything I have here is, well, not biological.
Let me call some of our allies. Rick!
Feel free.
Hey,
Here,
Kupo,
take these.
I was listening, Kupo.
I think I have an Apex Essence in my inventory.
You guys get Lumi, Star, or not Star, I always want to call you Star, Blair. Lumi, Blair, he'll rummage around in his trench coat and produce 2 cell phones and hand them to you. 1 cell phone each.
Who am I speaking to? Who is this?
What?
Who's calling me?
There's no call.
He's probably just giving us a secure line, I think.
No, but they're gonna call us, right?
These cell phones will call through the network of security measures that I have set up. They are also, they allow whoever wears them to be immune to any kind of communication blocking. They're also inscribed with all of the phone numbers of every sentient NPC on both worlds.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh. Adornment?
Yeah, they're adornments. Mythic adornments.
Oh, okay.
Make sure you only call me on those.
Roger that. Give me 1 moment. I can secure an Apex Essence from one of our allies. Conan!
Yeah, Kupo.
You have a spare Apex Essence?
Yeah, I think so, Kupo.
Are you okay? You sound ill.
Really?
No,
He
go on.
sounds rather handsome to me.
I'm fighting something, Kupo. Hang on, 1 sec.
While Lumi's calling Karnan, Blair will just look at her new fun toy, and she'll say every phone number, and she'll open it up into the phone book, and she'll automatically scroll down to the letter C, and look for Caius's name, and upon finding it, we'll just press send.
Okay.
The phone
sorry,
rings.
Kupo.
and someone will answer, but they'll answer in a very confused voice.
Hello.
Hello?
May I speak with Caius Ballad, please?
This is Caius speaking. I don't
Hi.
own a cell phone. Why is this here?
Magic. Blair will just
It is
be like,
invasive magic.
Blair will say, I don't know if you remember me, but it's me, Blair Highwind. I was there with you and Nibble, fighting the cosmic fiends with Jekyll. And we kind of tag teamed you guys and
I
beat you.
remember.
I hear that you're feeling a bit run down, even though you're soaking in these healing waters. If I told you I had someone who could help fix you and not repair, but heal you, would you like to join us?
Heal me?
Yes. Heal you of your wounds. Heal you of whispers you may be hearing.
So far, I've been able to keep them at bay. Though it would do well to not have to concentrate on resisting. Where are you?
We are at President Torbad's villa in Midgar.
Midgar. I
Yes.
should be able to make the journey in a few days.
What if you could make the journey in 4 minutes?
Torbad will hold up a finger and push something on his arm, and one of the airbusters will just kind of fly up out of a hatch that opens in the ground on the grounds, and will just take off into the sky.
You should probably
Blair.
notify Bevel now.
Blair will be like, I have to make calls because your transport's on its way. I'll see you here in 8 minutes. Bye. She quickly
He's about to
hangs
say
up.
something, and you hang up on him.
As she dials Bevel's like
Call Amrid.
Amrid? Okay. Blair will go straight to A and just ring for Amrid. Just like bouncing on her feet, like hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, looking at her watch, like looking at the countdown.
He'll answer after a few rings. What the fuck is this thing doing in my pocket?
Blair will be like, no time to talk. Torbad, sending Airbuster to Bevel, pick up Caius. Please
I
grant
should have fucking known a
access.
goddamn cell phone appears in my pocket and I hear your voice!
Blair just hangs up before he can keep going.
I love these things.
This message having way too much fun with the
You
message
realize,
cell
right?
phone.
Blair is like any of Miss Miss's characters is the worst person to give these phones to.
What? I wasn't mean. I got job done. Job done.
Oh god.
The Airbuster will arrive. Amrid will tell the guards not to shoot at it. Not that it would matter anyway, because he recognizes it, and Torbad's machines aren't easily destroyed. As it arrives, it'll pick up Caius, who's hesitant about climbing up on it, but he will climb up on its back and hang on. As the Airbuster flies him back to the villa, and he dismounts it nearby in front of the villa, in front of the stairs leading up to the deck. He'll just kind of look around.
Blair will sheepishly just kind
Some
of wave.
of you have too much money.
Caius will look around, and his eyes will focus on Torbad, and Torbad will look around.
It doesn't seem excessive to me. I am a veteran, you know. You should thank me for my service.
I hear you get free meals once a year at Castle Cornelia.
Not even.
They
Also,
charge
who
you?
would want to eat at Castle Cornelia?
I think the food's pretty good.
Let me
I am a veteran of the Imperial War, okay? You will treat me with respect.
Caius will just kind of look at him with a deadpan stare.
You said there'd be a healer here.
Lumi will
Blair
give
will
him
point.
a Farseer greeting and then just kind of point at Torbad. He can do more than hear you, so he says. Apparently he can deal with the and he'll kind of just point to his chest area.
Caius's eyes will widen and he'll look at Torban.
You can free me from this curse.
Less so a curse and more a means to an end to save your life, I think. There is no magic involved, simple science. But yes, I can take that crystal out of your chest and give you a working heart. Probably one that has better energy efficiency. You'll find yourself becoming tired less often. You'll also be less susceptible to elemental attacks that counter darkness, regardless of being a Dark Knight or not. The procedure is also free because I'm a veteran of the Imperial War, and you should thank me for my service.
We thank you for your service.
Thank you. I'll take it, because I know that he will never thank me.
Thank you for your service. Maybe he's not.
Erica!
A random lady will just come out with like a headset on. She looks like a secretary. She'll come out and she'll hand Caius a form with a clipboard and a pen.
Please sign this, relieving the Shinra Electric Power Company of all liabilities in the event of death and or worse than death during the procedure.
Maybe a whisper over to Blair. What's worse than death in this scenario?
Being eaten by the sea pancake.
Caius will look at it and take the paper and take the pen and sign it and then walk over.
Erica will take you to the procedure. I'll have some of the bots do it. We'll inform the Warriors of Light. I'm assuming I have your permission to give the Fabula Nova Crystal to them?
I would take the Fabula Nova Crystal for myself.
We should.
I do not quite trust them not to destroy it.
While fair,
Do
come
we
The
have
giggling! The fucking giggling!
Caius, while fair, we should inform you that we need to, there's a curse on your crystal at present, and it's going to be destroyed soon.
Not the first curse that you talked about. This is a wholly other curse. This is an actual curse, not like a mumba jumba
Blair will
Farseer's
just
curse.
look at them and she'll be like
Excuse you.
pointing to her watch like tick tick tick. She'll like say, maybe we should get it out of him first and then we can go more in depth.
I assure you, if you are worried about the crystal's fate, you could give it into my possession, and I can vouch for it. I simply want to examine it to see if there is anything I can do about this incantation that was uttered by the Eidolon as a result of the light crystal being destroyed. You're right, they do have a tendency to destroy crystals. It's quite fascinating.
I feel like
I
Zavara's at
haven't
the center
destroyed
of
a
all of
single
this.
crystal.
Neither have I.
Caius will nod to Torbad, and he will nod to him.
You have my word. You will not be harmed. The form is just a formality. And the crystal will not be harmed as well. Erica, take him away.
Erica will jump and will lead Caius deeper into the lab.
The procedure should take no more than 10-15 minutes. Is there something else I can help the unique Warriors of Light with?
Yes.
Yes.
A few more things, actually. You want to go first?
Kravas will send a special message to Torbat.
Oh, the procedure can't be completed without an apex soul or essence.
No, I was just on the phone with Connor. Connor, you still there?
Yeah, I've been waiting, Kupo. How dare you make me wait, Kupo?
How dare you make him wait?
Sorry. We need an Apex Essence, right?
I have one behemoth apex essence right here, Kupo.
That should do.
Okay, where are you right now?
Me? Oh, I just
Probably.
finished a session. Wait, who are you talking to?
I was talking to Connor.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm not sure, Kupo.
In Cornelia Carnet. You're in Cornelia.
I was just...
fighting something, Kupo. I'm a little winded. Just, yeah. Send your ship or whatever, Kupo.
Do you want to pick him up personally? Do you want to grab? Do you want to send a drone?
I can send an airbuster, but I need coordinates or location, and he seems to be fighting things somewhere. I don't know.
But he said
I'm
he's in
not fighting.
Cornelia.
Give us
I'm not
Cornelia.
Cornelia is a very
anymore.
large country.
Sorry, Castle Cornelia. Right?
Yes, Kupo.
What was he fighting then?
We
Probably a
literally
chicken.
talked like 2 hours ago, Kupo. I haven't moved.
I don't know
Okay,
that.
I'll send an airbuster to go pick up what is needed for Caius's procedure. Tell the handsome Moogle that it is appreciated.
Tell
Well-
the handsome Moogle also to let Castle Cornelia know that another airbuster is coming, please.
Did you catch all
That's
that?
okay. My airbusters can disarm any guards at Castle
Jimmy.
Cornelia.
Yeah, Kupo, to be quite honest, like, I don't really know that they do anything or be able to do anything about it, so, like...
It's still
It's just
better
courtesy.
than to, yeah, it's courtesy. Better than have them in a panic.
Are they even gonna know it's here?
Yes.
It's very large, yes.
Alright, fair enough.
Hold on to your pom-pom.
I'll tell somebody.
He's not being transported here. He's giving it to the... Does he want
Oh.
to be here?
Oh, no, he doesn't have to be here. Sorry.
Just send a
No.
drone, Kupo!
We'll send a drone instead. It's a good idea. It's almost like I thought of the idea.
Is it faster?
But wait, didn't I see
Yes,
a drone? earlier?
drones are faster and they're much more subtle. I thought you were transporting your friend here. You're not very clear on your instructions. One can
I thought he was coming
sympathize
here
with
too.
accidentally creating an evil entity of death.
I
I
said
thought
drone.
he was coming.
I feel like I'm being gaslit
oh my
here.
God. You are being gaslit because I heard you say drone.
I said airbuster, but I will send a Valkyrie drone instead. All he has to do is deposit the soul in the receptacle.
Trevas will
And this
put-
drone's
put-
extra slow, Kupo. I thought it'd be here by now.
I'm sending it now.
Trevas
And it'll just
will,
kind of erupt out of the garage like pew!
Trevas will put a sticker in the same place the Apex Essence goes. I send the sticker to you, Steph. You said.
Oh my god, give me a break!
While we're waiting,
Canonically, I would like this to be given to Torban.
Alright, one of the Valkyries will have this sticker on it.
while we're waiting, we did pick up something that would be very, very much in your interest. Everybody's interest, actually. Blair?
Blair will just look at Lumi. What?
The
We
vial?
picked up. Oh. She'll
A vial.
carefully
I
open...
like vials.
Yes, you seem to want to put things into vials. And she'll carefully open her bag and carefully take it out. She'll say, she'll hold it out to Torbad, and she'll say, well, long story short, Zodiark pissed me off. I threw the Storm Whisker at him. It hit him. This came out of him. And I'm assuming if it bleeds, it can die?
To be noted, it was
Very hesitantly take the vial, and his goggles will scan it as they have scanned everything else.
Are you telling me this is Zodiark juice?
Yes.
specifically the Wraith, not the Manta.
Curious. I do have preliminary findings on the Wraith based on sightings in the skies above where the portals are appearing and attacking certain Chrysalian cities. The Wraith can be seen overhead, just kind of observing for some of the skirmishes. It always seems to be accompanied by a rune, something that shines behind it. I've been trying to decipher what the rune means, and essentially, it is an incantation, a Lunarian incantation, that is used to prep someone for their ascension into a primordial. At the center of the rune lies the moon sigil, the same one I showed you earlier.
And it's just perpetually behind him?
Perpetually. I don't know why. I don't know the significance of it at all.
Do you think?
But I do know that it never leaves the Wraith's side, and he displays it, so it cannot be anything having to do with a weakness. Unless he's brazen enough to display that.
Maybe...
I don't know.
Maybe it was never complete.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Maybe the ritual was never completed initially.
Then how did he become that?
It's a great question. But it is curious that there are
Ritual
two
was never
distinct
completed.
forms, the Manta and the Wraith.
That is very strange as well. The fact that there are two beings occupying the same consciousness, or at least the same Eidolon, or primordial, I guess, is very strange indeed. There are only a few examples of multiple consciousness being born within the same being, and usually those consciousness will identify separately, and in most cases the souls of these consciousness will actually fuse together within the faith circle. It's almost as if there's a second person inside that faith tree with Zodiark.
Like Eden. Except it doesn't seem like Zodiac.
What you've described with Eden sounds like an unintentional melding, almost like shoving two fusion core reactors together at high speeds. It's not quite the same thing. The thing that's happening with Zodiark seems more elegant, more intelligent.
Well, we do know that he had Eleanor under his control.
Pelennor?
Pelennor was an Eidolon born of Zodiac that we believed originated from Etra herself, actually. Or at least some memory?
There are no records of an Eidolon known as Pelennor in my databases. Are you sure this is an Eidolon?
As far as we were aware.
Curious. Another thing that's very strange with the vial you just gave me. Technically, Eidolons don't bleed. Primordials don't bleed either. You've seen them bleed because they believe they bleed. And so they manifest the wounds on their bodies as a way of kind of portraying that they are injured. But it is all done with their willpower, with their mind, essentially. It is the faith circle actually sustaining damage the entire time, and the faith will repair itself over time if it is not put under strenuous activity for a certain amount of time. It kind of just repairs itself like a river that kind of runs low during a drought, and then water continues to flow until the river is full again. Usually, an Eidolon will only project having wounds if it believes its faith is being damaged. It's kind of a leftover concept from when they were alive, right? You get stabbed and you have a hole where you got stabbed.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, as soon as their consciousness leaves the area, the blood dissipates because it's just a manifestation of their desire, of their willpower. You just brought me a vial and the blood is here, and there's no wraith to be found. Eidolons don't bleed. Primordials don't bleed. I don't know what the hell this is, unless you've just handed me a vial of milk.
I can assure you it's not milk. So I'd gush out of the thing itself.
The thing that bled this is not an Eidolon.
What the hell is it?
I don't know, but it's not an Eidolon. Not by our definition of the word. Or a faith, or a primordial. Primordials don't bleed either. Guaranteed. You can try it. Oh wait, you already have.
Ouch.
Didn't really make it bleed as so much as Zavar just made him disappear.
A distinction without a difference, I'm afraid. But it's okay. Is there anything else I can help you with? Erica!
She'll just kind of jump and come back out, and she'll like stand in front of him, and he'll hand her the vial. And as she's handed the vial, she'll just hold it with two fingers, like.
Please take this to my lab, but make sure it's labeled, and also nobody touches it. Except you.
She'll nod and she'll run with the vial inside.
Can I go now, or is there an end to this?
No, there's never an
There's at
end.
least two more things.
Blair will.
What exactly do you want me to do with the vial, by the way? You never specified. It's just research, I'm assuming?
I mean,
want a
research. Tell us
preliminary
what
finding?
you can, figure out about it. Apparently, this wraith is not an Eidolon, so what the heck did I stab? What is it? You're the smartest, and I mean, you are a veteran of the Imperial War. I thank you for your service.
Make sure you give him my sticker.
What else do you need?
Blair will look at him and she'll be like, well, you're caught up with what happened with Eden, and then what happened with Spiritus, and you're a smart man, and I'm sure that you've already assumed that the Primordials want nothing more to do with us, to not help with us. We were going to have them help us out with Brink of Midnight to help alleviate the pressures that have been put on the dragons, who are sustaining massive damage. But since they will not help, a little bird told me that, you know, this nice shiny toy that you have could possibly aid us along with all your other shiny toys in fighting against the Wraith and the Hydra that has sided with him.
I'm confused. Are you calling me to arms?
Technically I guess so, because you said that you and the Pride and Joy share your Firefly makeup. So, yes.
And I would go along with this. Why?
I mean, it's either that or the planet's doomed and all that you've just gained is all for naught and is swallowed by the cosmos. Did I also mention that I helped release you from Balthier's imprisonment?
Fine.
I thank you for your service.
Apparently I'm not finished with my service. Alright. Give me coordinates. I will go with the Pride and Joy.
Blair will hand him the coordinates, and she'll kind of look at him. And as she gives him the coordinates on the slip of paper, she'll kind of clasp his hands between her gauntleted hands and look him straight into where his goggles are, where his eyes are behind. And she'll say, my surrogate dad is up there, Fafnir. He's mortally wounded. I worry about the damage that he's sustained, and especially because the light crystal is gone. Is there any way that you can take him out of the fight and save his life? For me, I will do anything that you need me to do.
Chances are his life is forfeit anyway. Fafnir is an Eidolon of light. The light crystal is destroyed. Even if we extract him, any wounds that he sustained will not heal. Zodiark won't allow it.
There's no Lunarian rune you can put on him?
Nothing. The element itself is being corrupted. The very thing that he's made of is being corrupted. There's nothing I can do. Until the light crystal or some similar thing is restored. However, I can adhere to your request to extract him without any further damage being done to him, but he will die in due time. I'll send a couple of airbusters to extract him.
Blair will nod her head and will let him go.
Just so you know what you're getting into, you'll be joined by Kane and the Eidolon known as Odin up there.
And Eldraskir.
And Eldraskir.
It's a very diverse group. Chances are we won't have very much synergy. I will have synergy with Kane, however. I am familiar with Kane's combat capabilities, but as far as Odin, I have no idea what he is capable of.
Unfortunately, beggars can't be choosers in this trying time.
Oh, well, you are going to love what you see up there. Yes, just please don't hurt my brother. Either brother, Kane or Eldraskir, the
I
dragon.
will do my utmost best not to harm anyone that's on my side for my self-interest and for yours.
Blair will look at Lumi and she'll say, do you want to discuss our ideas about replacements, or
I
do
can
want
give
me
you
to?
I can give you a brief theory, considering we will be speaking with the Akuria and Tsukiyomi as well as you, since we mentioned it prior. But basically, we had the idea to transfer the power, the mantle of responsibility, as it were, of purifying the elements, to Eidolons whose concepts are purely that element. Ifrit being our prime example for the fire crystal, the element of fire. How? Well, we'll have to discuss that, but that's the gist of it.
You want to realign Ifrit.
Ah, yes, he is part dark now, isn't he? Yes, we would have to do that first, but yes.
It's not
You can
part-
do that with.
He is.
You can do that simply with the Pyromancer. You don't need my help.
That'll be-
Ifrit was born an Eidolon of Flame. Chances are that his faith still considers himself one. He changed his elemental alignment through sheer force of will, along with the aid of probably a gifted summoner, someone who is powerful in summoning magic. But the sustaining of the dark form is pure will. So whoever Ifrit is doing this for, he cares a great deal for. Otherwise, the will required to sustain an element that he does not himself identify as would be excruciating.
Oh.
So chances are, if you give him enough fire energy, he can take it, expand upon it, and return to his former self.
Well, I'm sure your brother would have no qualms about that.
We still need to ask Trevos.
Of course. But yes, these new beings, these guardians or aeons, as we've come to call them, of each element, that's our replacement plan, at least one of them. I heard Orpheus had some ruminations, but that's ours, as he points to the both of us.
Would it work? Is, I guess, the bigger question.
Theoretically, anything could work as long as you find a physical form for the enchantment to house itself in. So, a physical form can be an Eidolon. Although you are creating more gods.
Would they be on the level of a primordial? They would no
Yes,
longer just
I'd say they'd be about equal, if not more, to a primordial. The only difference is a primordial would have absolute control over a concept, whereas these aeons you're describing would have absolute control over an element. That makes them purer, but it gives them less versatility, you know? Fire doesn't do much except burn. So, this Eidolon of Flame would be astronomically powerful, probably slightly more, well, depending on the math, it'd be slightly more powerful than a primordial, I'd say.
Wow.
So we shouldn't just give it out willy-nilly if we go with this plan. Go with Eidolons.
You shouldn't give it out willy-nilly. You could also theoretically do something else.
Go
Blair
on.
will arch an eyebrow.
Well, theoretically, if you create beings that represent these concepts, right? Then they are susceptible to the whims of the rift. And as Bente did a long time ago, what he did was he tapped into the power of the rift and he willed an alternate dimension into being. Can anyone guess? Anyone in the class guess which one it was?
Valhalla.
I heard a voice say Valhalla.
The voice came out of nowhere, but yes, random voice.
Sorry.
It is Valhalla. He used the power of the rift to will another dimension. This isn't a place in our actual physical realm. This dimension We say it is housed within the rift because he believed it is housed within the rift, but it can only be accessed through special gateways, and it encompasses and protects both worlds. There is no math or science available, or magic or Lunarian rune that exists that can create an alternate dimension. It does not exist. What he did was he went there, he concentrated somehow, and willed it into being using the unique power of the rift. That is impressive. And technically, if it can be done one time, it can be done multiple times. What you could do is you could will and modify Valhalla. If you turned Valhalla into a separate plane, one that is no longer accessible, one that acts as an ascendant plane, something above our physical world, almost like the Ikuria are designed, wraiths. You could house the Eidolons chosen to represent the elements within this plane and allow them to interact in the world only specifically, only through whatever means you will they should be allowed to interact with. Technically, it would be like a prison, but it wouldn't be a prison. They would be able to observe the outside world and perhaps even speak to people, but they would be almost as if they are gods without form, without influence over the physical world. They could keep the elements safe while residing in a place where they could never be corrupted, or none of them could ever use their power for ill again. It is a theory that I have been mulling over in my mind. Some of the most powerful Eidolons, we don't want them to suffer, yet we're not willing to kill them, and they hold too much power to keep them in this world in order to create a sustainable future where we are not at the whims of these dreams, these people who deemed to ascend to a higher level of being when they perish. Then something like that will have to be created. And I believed I could repurpose Valhalla to this effect. A good example, do you know how Etro existed?
I will shake her head.
Only vague.
Etro was not an Eidolon. She was not a Fal'Cie. She was not a primordial. She existed in some other way, right?
Yes.
My theory is when she was killed, she willed herself to become something. She was killed near the rift. Maduin was attempting to use the rift to turn her into something that had never been done before, turn her into a faith, an Eidolon, correct?
As the story goes.
If she was killed near the rift, she may have willed herself to become something more. Not a physical being, not an Eidolon, not a primordial. Call it a force of will. An ever-present goal that exists in every particle of our world, that strung together heroes seemingly out of nowhere and gave them a destiny. Theoretically, if I was able to research it, I could figure out what Etro did, and I could replicate it. Turn your Aeons into Etros. The elements would be perfectly protected, never to be messed with again. And your Eidolon friends would become gods. True gods. The ones that do not affect the physical world, the ones that do not meddle in the affairs of mortals, but instead guide them through destiny, through the lending of their power, etc. It's an idea to mull over.
Well, if anyone's gonna be able to do it, it'll be you, as he looks over to Blair. Warden.
Blair will nod her head.
It depends on what you view of this. Technically, if they become this, they will become a will. They will retain their identities, but they will become a force. They will ascend beyond the physical realm, like Etro did. I don't know if you believe that is inhumane. I don't believe Etro was in any kind of pain. I believed that she felt some sort of higher purpose in what she did, but I don't know, seeing as we never spoke to her. And why do you think we never spoke to her? Because she was in this Exactly, this other plane. It is something to mull over. There are very little things that were able to affect her, and in the end, she sacrificed herself to save all of you. She was still alive up until the very end. Anyway, it is a solution that you can use in your Aeon theory, especially if you do not wish to have more primordial lookalikes wandering around. Not that I doubt the integrity of some of the Eidolons you've mentioned, like Ifrits, but there are some... Theoretically, you don't know what a millennia will bring, do you? You do not know what the next millennia will hold for Ifrit, how it will change him, how it will alter him.
No.
You don't know if he will become a tyrant of flame, hell-bent on destroying us, and will require more warriors of light to defeat him. This way, he becomes something more, and cannot affect the physical realm directly. But I digress. Your idea is not a terrible one, as long as you find the appropriate beings to become the Aeons, so to speak.
I suppose we'll discuss more of it when we meet with Gerun and Tsukiyomi.
Am I to be there still?
You are welcome.
And just to clarify, Violus.
Yes.
Violus, yes. Do not take the Acuria.
You're certain?
Yes. You may ask them whatever you want, but no kidnapping, please.
Okay. Erica, cancel the photon packs.
Do you get it? Because the
Yeah,
Acuria are
yeah, I
ghosts.
got
Okay,
it. That's why I
cool.
burst out.
This time I was muted so I could laugh out loud.
Alright, if that is it, I will do all of the things that you asked me to do.
Blair will hold up her hand
Ah,
and she'll kind of look at him and she'll say, I know I'm not as intelligent as you are. This is not me trying to expand your ego. I am but a soldier, and fighting is what I do best. But you said if we brought you Eden, you could extract the 2 souls from the tree. Would that mean Eden would stay? Like Eden as its concept, as the Eidolon, would live? What would happen to the concept known as Ramza? Would it also stay as Eden and you're just extracting Spiritus out?
technically, a soul melding is when 2 separate souls become one. But since souls are not meant to fuse in such a way, they still fight to be free of each other. It's what is called as a soul bleed. It creates random energy, energy that doesn't play well with other types of energy, which is why Eden is currently very volatile. His faith tree, faith circle, whatever created him, is slowly being damaged from the inside by the 2 souls writhing and trying to separate. If you bring me the souls, I can probably extract one of them by cutting out a portion of the other one. So, for example, you bring me both souls. I cannot save both, but I can definitely save at least one of them by sacrificing the other. And then, if you allowed me to put them into my reconstitution chamber, I may be able to build a Firefly body around the soul that is saved.
Blair will nod her head.
Or if you already have a body. I heard Spiritus's body was transported.
Yes.
Currently in the custody, if that's the right word, of the other primordials.
Technically, if I saved Spiritus's soul, I could put it back inside his Lunarian body.
They mentioned that his body was scarred to a severe degree. through the process. I don't know if it's still operational, quote unquote.
The Lunarians do not quite have the technology that I have. Although I have taken a bunch of it from their Lunarian sigils, I have melded it with Machina technology. I can probably reconstitute the body. It will be scarred, but it will be alive. Or I can extract Eden's soul. Ramza, was it? And I could constitute a body for Ramza, essentially turning him into a Grian again.
And the Eidolon that's known as Eden as we know it
Will fade.
fade.
The energy that is given off would be dangerous, but I could potentially disperse it. Or, if I allow Spiritus' soul to dissipate, the energy that lets off will also be dangerous, but I can also disperse that. Do you have... a relative of Spiritus?
I don't think it.
Close friend, someone who spent a lot of time around him?
Yeah. I mean, Zell?
That would be the
Zell and
brothers.
Trevos? Yeah.
The brothers?
Zell and Trevos.
They were like surrogate sons to him.
Zell.
Once again, his goggles will bring up charts, and you'll see him just kind of move his head around like a bird as he reads all of them.
Lupin. Nope, not quite good enough. It's a beast tribe, and their Pyrefly makeup is flawed.
What about Trevos, who was born of... I can't think of his name.
The same Amon. Through the
Amon.
same magics
Born?
that Bente. Through the same magics that Bente
Well-
created his brothers.
Born is a
Oh.
quotation mark.
Really? He is a familiar.
That's the word.
Lunarians, this is not Lunarian magic, but it is in Bente's databases quite often. I don't know who taught it to him. But it's called creating a familiar. You cut off a piece of yourself, and use that to create a Pyrefly makeup. The Pyrefly makeup, if it is allowed to live and grow and experience over time, will gestate a Pyre soul. It's very fascinating. As if Pyre souls are created from our experiences and nothing else. I digress. Theoretically, since he is born from Lunarian Pyrefly makeups, I could potentially use the excess energy given off by my separation of Eden to complete his transformation. He would no longer be a familiar, and I could make him Lunarian.
Oh.
He was born from Lunarian flesh. There would simply be enough energy for his body to completely reconstitute itself. Lunarian biology is incredibly complex and gorgeous and perfect in every way. They do not become sick. They do not age. They are much more intelligent than the rest of us. Their body withstands radiation much more, etc. Requires a huge amount of energy in order to craft such a body, but because his body was born from Lunarian to begin with, then it would be easy to use the excess energy to complete it.
But it would innately sacrifice Sage's soul.
Or
Or
Eden's soul.
Ramza's soul.
One or the other. I can't save both. You'll never be able to save both. The melding process guarantees you can't save both.
Blair will just kind of mutter under her breath. I want to make sure that I get it correct. She will say under her breath, after just hearing this from Tsukiyomi and witnessing it firsthand with Lucifer, and trying to save everyone, you would doom us all.
A logical notion. One that the Warriors of Light have never been very good at putting into practice.
It seems like sacrifices must be made.
I can also potentially deconstruct both souls. If you allow me to deconstruct both souls, I can simultaneously do what I said I would do to Trevos, and I can create a battery that you can bring with you that is more compact, and that will have enough juice to pierce through the faith tree. if combined with another source, I think. Like a fire crystal.
Well, assuming the fire crystal isn't already replaced by then.
True. Whatever fire being.
Suppose we'll have to mull it over with the rest. I do thank you for your service
Also,
and time.
theoretically, the biology of these faith will not be able to survive such a transfer without further additional aid. In short, if you create these aeons, they'll need to be junctioned to warriors of light to survive the process.
What will happen after we're all gone and Etro's no longer here? There's no warrior of light. Is the world just doomed?
Hopefully Zodiac is the last of the world-ending entities. I don't intend to leave a doomed world behind.
Blair will kind of scoff at Torvald, and she'll say, "You are a veteran of the Imperial War, but I am a veteran of many other wars. There will be peace for a moment. There are always wars that will continuously happen. Other big bads that will come in their wake.
Well, if you take my suggestion in attempting to recreate what happened to Etro to the aeons that you're choosing, then perhaps they can choose warriors.
They'll be the new warriors of... Well, can't say light very well, can we?
Warrior of Aeons.
Warriors of Fate, Kupo.
I like Crystal Braves.
Has a ring to it.
Technically, the only way the Iodolans would be able to manifest in the real world would be through dominating their host. One could also call them dominants.
Not a bad idea.
Does it have to be current warriors of light that junction these?
I'd say
Or-
yes. Due to your unique experiences, your Firefly makeup will be more rigorous, more... will be able to sustain more damage before it is deconstructed. However, old Warriors of Light will do as well. Like myself, although I do not volunteer myself.
Blair will chuckle. And she'll
Amarid,
say-
Jekyll. Caldas
say-
would be a good one.
She'll look at Lumi and she'll say, "Well, do you have anything else to add?"
No, not until we next meet, at least.
And she'll extend a hand to Torbad and she'll say, "I thank you for your time, Director President, and I can't wait for my villa. If I survive, that is, and if you hear bangings and rumblings and earth-shaking sounds, it's fine. I'm just training."
What you do in your own time is your business. I'll make sure to make the villa far away.
Blair will nod.
Till we meet again?
Till we meet again. Apparently on the front lines.
No, to see the Acuria. Right.
Ah, yes, we do have a meeting with the Acuria before then.
And then to the front lines.
And then to the front lines. I'll have the Airbuster escort you back wherever you want to go. Erica!
Castle Cornelia, for me.
Is that it?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. RP session over.
Learned a
Thank
lot.
you.
Oh,
That'll happen when you go to the most intelligent NPC on the planet.
damn right.
Yeah, Miss Miss has smart ID.
Very nice.
I was thinking of that this morning. I was like, why haven't we gone seen Torbad and ask him the shit?
Let me add Trevos to the screen browser. Yes, Trevos.
Wow, my villa, is it gonna look like that? It's gonna look so nice.
My God.
It'll be at the other end of the lake.
That's fine. If we survive, Torbad's just gonna see dragons flying around and he's gonna be like, what the fuck did I sign up for? Should have made the villa further.
There goes the neighborhood.
There we go.
Once they start moving in.
Dang.
Not the dragoons, the Grians start moving in.
Wow.
All of a sudden it's breathing
Kinda
fire,
rude.
random dragon sounds throughout the night.
Kinda rude. Oh, well,
That's a lot to take
I
in.
like this communicator, but
The communicator's fun.
well, okay. Well, if we're not doing
You guys
the
can
witch
make your own, by the way. So the communicator
Communicators?
simply for the mythic adornment, the communicator simply prevents all kinds of communication blocking. So during an encounter when you're trying to help while you're on standby, or vice versa if you're trying to contact someone while you're on standby or while you're in the fight, you specifically cannot be blocked.
Oh, so like it's not like someone in the party and out of the party have to have a communicator each. It's just as long as you have a
No, they do. So for example, if
Oh,
you're
okay.
on standby, they can hear you, you can't hear them. So that means that you can give them roles because you can give them information. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But if you're in combat, you can talk to them. They can't respond to you unless there's another person with an infinite
Yeah.
communicator. So if
Okay.
Savande and you are on standby, one of you is on standby, one of you is in the party, then you're completely immune.
Okay. Okay. I got you. Got you. Oh, nice.
It is inscribed with a Lunarian rune that allows the phone to generate a spectral phone for anyone you attempt to call in both worlds. So Nova and Chrysalis.
That's fun.
You know what? I'm just gonna say you're lucky Blair has this phone versus Star having this phone.
That is why I put the caveat any of Miss Mess's characters, okay?
No, Blair won't.
Imagine Mimsy with this phone.
Oh yeah, imagine Mimsy with that.
Also, you can put a thing, so it can be used as a key item. You can equip it to be able to utilize the part where your communications can't be blocked. But if you keep it in your inventory as a key item, you can just use it as a phone.
Okay.
Okay. I'll just wait for did you want us to write the description or did you have a copy pasta?
You guys can save me the trouble if you write it out yourselves and just copy it to each other.
Lumi!
Do everything.
Well, I can do it.
Oh shit, that didn't work. How did I do it?
It's called a Shinra Tech Torb phone.
Shinra
Torb phone.
Torb.
Tech is TEK.
Why isn't this working?
Like, and then Torb is TORB.
Phone. Yep.
He needs a star for like a good name for that.
He named it after himself. What did you expect?
But could have been better.
I don't know what happened. I can't edit the description anymore.
Is it because I have it open?
I don't know.
Do, 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 do,
I'll just
do.
retype it over here. Fuck it.
Rarity. 1, 2, 3.
Did that work? There we go. That's fun. Thanks, Steph.
Mm-hmm.
I need to write up a few things.
Let's see. Learned a fucking lot. Erebos isn't a fucking primordial or eidolon or anything.
Not Erebos, the sea pancake.
No, she shot Erebos, the Wraith. Or, she's not shot. She threw her spear at the Wraith Erebos.
Oh, I thought it was a sea pancake. She.
No, the sea pancake's
Okay.
still in the sky. She hit the thing you saw in the middle of the lake in Melodies of Life.
Yep. Okay, so then the sea pancake might be Erebos, too. That's another, like, still waiting to become a primordial.
Or they really fucked up that primordial ritual
I mean,
and they made
Some-
something completely new.
something went like bad,
Yeah, they fucked up something.
obviously, but
Yeah.
what, right? Like, did somebody interfere? Somebody became part of it?
Has anyone, a question that would be interesting to ask the Lunarians is, has anyone actually laid eyes on Zodiark's faith tree? Somehow. We assume no, I figure, because it's inside him, but like, are we 100% certain he actually has a faith tree?
No one's laid eyes on it.
Yet. We are
Like,
trying.
it could be something else. It
Yeah.
could be
It could be a flower.
alive.
It could be 2 trees.
It could be a flower.
It could.
It could be
It might have been a flower. Didn't you convince?
pulsing, beating heart.
Doesn't our
It
pet-
could be a flower.
Yes,
She
Mr.
Keep
keeps
X.
repeating
saying
that.
flower
Could
like
be a
that has a
flower,
meaning,
yes.
but I'm lost on
If there's
what
a
that
meaning, please
could
tell
be.
us, people.
I
I
just
feel
keep
like
saying
you're
it could be a flower.
using this
Why?
as a
Because-
very obscure reference to something.
Because Erebos, the memory of Erebos said that he was thinking of possibly making it a flower. And Blair said, what about a tree? What if he made everyone else's a tree, but he's very special, so he made his a flower.
Who said this?
Erebos.
Erebos.
Yeah, now you're just reaching.
Not reaching?
Yeah.
Like,
It's
this
not a far
conversation
reach, but it
happened?
is a reach. Yeah, it happened when we talked to Tsukiyomi. We ended up speaking to the memory of Erebos directly.
Not this past talking to Tsukiyomi, like when Spiritus was still alive.
Yeah, this
'cause-
was a while back.
It's a while
Yeah.
ago.
And that magic might have some time fuckery properties to it. Suggesting one thing in the future can affect the past, yada yada.
Yada yada.
Blair might be the reason we have faith trees, not faith flowers.
Hey, look, I just kept it to what we already know.
Forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, I remember now. Our passives do say we deal extra damage to Zodiark's heart.
Yes.
So
I figured that was a figure of speech because probably those passes were designed a very long time ago.
I don't know. Steph had a pretty
you
continuity.
never know what the DM might be implying. This DM is a sneaky one.
Sure.
How
Could just
dare!
be like, you could just be like, "What do you mean? I told you ages ago. You've known this entire time."
I have done that before.
Mhm.
Yes, I know.
It's
I
literally
have
been
done
written
that.
right there. Thunder would be so pissed. He always gets pissed when he like has something
Get
in front of him like that
bamboozled.
and doesn't notices. Yeah.
I mean, it's starting to make sense. If the wraith itself is not a faith, and it has a biology to it, it would have a heart.
I mean, wraith implies like ghost though, which is literally the exact opposite of a living thing.
Maybe. But do ghosts bleed?
I think in this instance it's
Maybe. Do
more
you
like
consider that spectral shit blood?
Yes.
ectoplasm.
Then yeah, ectoplasm. Thank you. I couldn't think of what it was called. Yeah,
Ghost
do you
blood.
consider
It's basically
ectoplasm?
ghost blood.
Well, then yes, ghost bleed. Other question?
I have a lot of XP. Goon.
Mythic cell phones.
Mhm. Victory.
Yeah. Did you like my song for praying to Tsukiyomi? I saw you rolling. What were you rolling, sir?
Awareness?
Is it?
You were speaking to Amaterasu, not Tsukiyomi.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I meant.
I was just rolling how she was reacting.
Oh god. Well,
What do you mean? Oh god, that's literally what you're trying to do!
I just didn't want her to.
Murder you?
No, I didn't want her to forsake Chaos when he had nothing to do with everything that had happened because
She hasn't forsaken him.
yeah, he does worship her and everything. So
I mean, she's passionate. She's not irrational.
As much as Steve likes to say she is.
Mhm.
No.
He's right in some ways, though. She is very quick to anger. She is very emotional, is a better word than irrational.
She's impulsive. She's not
Impulsive
irrational.
is another word.
And even
You
then, she
could
contains
combine
it.
all those together and call it irrational, however, but whatever. Point is, I still think she has some rationale. Otherwise, you'd all be dead. So
It
Mhm.
would have been dead a long
she was
time
able
ago.
to. She was able to rationalize not killing you in front of Wisp. She's able to hesitate because she doesn't want her sister to hate her. I'd say she's very rational.
Like myself and Zell straight up went to her and talked to her. And even when I was in front of Wisp and all that crowd and Easter was talking crazy like how you can't talk to me about Afiaka's whatever. Like when I was talking to her and I was grieving about my father's spiritus, like there was compassion in her eyes. Like she's not a heartless killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's also like she also represents martial disciplines. Like showing her respect is going to be crucial to gaining the respect of her listening to you.
Mm-hmm.
And both Zavara and
Orpheus.
just completely disregarded how she felt or like not how she felt, disregarded like her perspective
Both.
and her right to be upset about something that obviously she'd be upset about.
Right.
Yeah.
did a days.
I want to see Torbat's reaction when that freaking drone comes back with that sticker. Because I also sent it to Steph.
What?
I thought it was
What
funny.
a dick.
What do you mean? It's a real sticker. People
That is
are
a veteran of the Imperial War that you're fucking with.
Look, the real people in this country put that on their cars.
I mean, that doesn't make it right.
Is
The next
the
time you
US
see the
real,
Pride and
though?
Joy in combat against Zodiark, the sticker will be on its chest.
Oh my god. Front and center.
Yeah! Represent. How do you like the character, Rick? Am I role playing him properly?
Yeah, I like the fact that you're evolving him. I think that's important. Like, he's very changed from the way that he was when I played him, but in a way that's like expanding
sense.
upon the base, not deviating from it.
Natural
So
progression.
Oh,
yes, yeah, I think he's expanding it. Like there should the aspect of hubris, you know, even though it's kind of portrayed jokingly, I think is very accurate because like people who are intelligent inherently have hubris. It's built into it. You just get used to dealing with people being dumb all day and you're like, well,
do you remember how long Brink of Midnight was?
What do you mean, how long?
Standby.
Oh. Good question. The actual combat wasn't that long. I don't think it was just everything else that made it last like 5 hours. 6 hours, 7 hours, however long it lasted. Probably a VOD of it somewhere.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure the VOD's out for that.
By the way,
The Witching Hour Part 1.
it made
it's
so
called The
much
Witching Hour?
sense what you said about Travas, like being an empty vessel when it was first created. Like if you think about the evolution of Travas being just like a fucking hired like a Shadow Walker just going killing enemies of whoever they pointed at to becoming a warrior of light, and like how much he has grown from there now. Like
True.
his pirate soul developing over time. I think it fits.
hmm.
It says Dungeons Master Choice, Easter, Mess, 3 hours.
So 3 hours?
I'm assuming.
We beat Xanthus in 3 hours? Shit. Hell yeah.
Who was? I don't think
Cut out.
I said who was DJing. I said I don't think I was.
Usually says it.
Does not say.
And you got 3 hours extra as Dungeon Master's Choice, not necessarily as standby.
Oh.
Steph might have been DJing that session. There's a distinct theme to it, so he might have been directing it.
Go back to the VOD.
Can I scare everyone?
7 hours, good lord.
Combat?
No.
Ain't no way.
That shit was
the
7
VOD.
hours.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the session
Oh,
was
play
crazy.
it.
I think that's a 4. Back. Post is post. He died on round 4.
Like
So
at the
3
start
hours.
of round 4 or end of round 4?
I think Orpheus reacted and killed him on his turn. The start of round 4.
Question though, when you guys were fighting, I was no longer on standby. I went to go deal with
Did you roll anything? Because if you were in immersion dealing with Ophiuchus, then you probably
Yeah.
didn't get any standby, which is why you
yeah,
got Dungeon Master's Choice standby.
Okay, thank you. There we go. It all makes sense. Now, do I just type in? It was immersion. It's called the Witching Hour.
Part 1.
One. Okay. Go.
Woo! Caius is good to go.
Good thing I thought of this. Good king.
Wow, that's such a fitting like picture with like that clear, sleek metal.
Yeah, it's like a surgical table.
Yeah.
AI is so helpful. It makes everything so much more like visual for you guys.
Yeah. All right.
Ba, 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 ba.
Now can have I'll add into the session announcement. Alright.
Oh. Wait. Excuse me, experience?
Are you guys thinking about putting this to a vote?
Well, we still have to determine what we're doing because Steve wants to offer up some alternative plans too.
We still have to look into what we're gonna do with Eden.
Ah, yes,
That's
that.
what I meant. We now have a solution to Eden two soul problem.
Kill it.
That's so.
Yeah.
That's
Kill
already
it.
what Rasu wants to do. Tsukuyomi, who's probably the most experienced and knowledgeable on this, said it's gonna happen soon. So what I don't want to do is sit on our hands and lose both.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
The whole speech of trying to save everyone and losing everything instead. Like, I think we need to make a decision. Are we saving who? What are we doing? And
If I remember right,
to-
didn't Tsukiyomi say that she could like have both soul like deconstruct Eden and have both souls be laid to rest?
Yes.
Like that's the most humane option. We don't get the power up that Corbad's offering, but we don't need that. I don't. And yes, he could resurrect Sajay, but doesn't that kind of go against everything he was about?
I
don't
no, I
think
agree.
they want
I
them
don't
to,
think
so.
we want to bring Spiritus back to life. We want Spiritus to rest.
Yeah, like I'm sure if we were to ask Wisp, he would kind of jump at it, but that's because he's kind of a kid. But I think Rasu and Tsukiyomi would kind of be like, yeah, he can rest.
And then like you have to also ask Trawas if he wants to.
That's true.
Become a full Lunarian. I don't know if that answer is yes.
Yeah, if we decide to go with Torbad's version of events.
Well, do you want to not be just a familiar?
Well, I mean, no, like, so I will be very hesitant to vote for that option for the simple fact the ones listening right now, and like, I don't want to be taken as I'm trying to pick that option because that's gonna power me up. I don't want that. Like, out of character, I wouldn't want that because I don't ever want to be seem like, oh, let's kill Eden and power me up.
Right. I mean, in so far both scenarios, Eden's getting deconstructed. It's just what we do with the souls afterwards, I think, is what our options are currently, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tsukiyomi, it's both souls rest. Torbad is sacrifice one to save the other.
In order to save myself a bunch of typing, Miss Mess and Samande, add this to your recap. After extensive research, and examining the crystal, Torbad has concluded that the energy that is eating away at the crystal's physical form is unknown in nature and is not recorded in any history.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
There is no way to stop it. There is no way to repair the crystal itself.
Yeah, that's why we have to put it into a different vessel.
As far as transferring the energy, he believes it is possible so long as the vessel it is being transported to, if living, is junctioned to a warrior of light to help sustain them through the transformation, or an ex-warrior of light. And then if it is transported to an object, making sure that the object is made from a material that can sustain that much power. And by power, he means roughly 100% of a Fabula Nova crystal's channeling capability.
Right. I wonder if Lunarian steel can do that. Oh, we would need a lot of it too.
I don't know. All right. I hate to session and run, but I gotta take the dogs out, and then I'm gonna go play Don't
Sure.
Starve.
Sure.
Have fun.
Goodbye. Have fun.
Thank you. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pop in during the week because the sister-in-law's coming, but if I can, I'll just pop in for a bit.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
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 Hmm. Doesn't refresh my thing. I can just end stream anyways.